What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and I thought I would do this deck profile for this Raidraptor deck that I just recently showed off in a gameplay video. I love this list. I think it's the most consistent that Raidraptors has ever been. Even after losing Union Hanger, even after losing Zexal, I think the deck is extremely playable. It's just a little different. And there's a little bit of more flex spots, and I'll tell you guys where a little bit of the versatility in this deck can come for sure. But this was what works for me and gets me some of those wins, something I'll be taking to locals with me absolutely 100% when it comes open. This will be one of the main decks I think I take with me, although a couple of these I can't afford myself, so you'll see that in just a second. But go after the Raidraptor lineup, which I feel is the best. 3 Tribute Lanius, you gotta send those Mimicry Laniuses to the graveyard. 3 of the Strange Lanius, since there's no Zexal route, you need to get as many cards on the field as possible. This only restricts you to dark monsters, so when you do take the Rusty Bardige routes, you're G2G, good to go. Vanishing Lanius, you run a lot of Raidraptors in here. It's a very good play starter. 2 Mimicry. In all honesty, it's not something you really want to open. If you open it with Vanishing Lanius, that's full combo, where you have the Utopia, the Barrier Statue, and all that good stuff. But it's not super likely, so that's why I only run it at 2. But you definitely need 2 of these to make things work. Also run 2 of the Raiders Wing. This card is good to send off of the Rusty. It's not terrible to draw on your opening hand, although it's honestly not super preferred. Pain Lanius, on the other hand, absolutely 100% is something you want to see all the time. It's a free special summon. It's a level manipulation, and it does not restrict you in any possible way. It's a very good card. The 1 Singing Lanius, I used to run like super multiple copies of this, but it's honestly just something you want to search up later. It's not a play starter, certainly. It's an extender, so and you can search like 3 times in this deck, so that's why I run it at 1, along with Heal Eagle as well. It's just if you open it in your hand or if you need it later, that's all fine and dandy. This doesn't restrict you in any way as well, so it's good for link fodder, which is very nice. And the rest of these will be just the one-ofs in terms of keeping your plays going. Some of them will be kind of bricky. Kagetoki, you need a card to normal summon. I do not recommend running this at more than 1, but it is one of the best one-ofs in the deck that you will ever see. If you open it in your hand, you feel very confident what you have going forward. You just can't afford too many bricks in this deck because you have to run the Mist Valley Apex Avion, you got to run the Zephyros the Elite, and you got to run the Wind Barrier Statue. So that's why this has a little bit limited. But those cards that I just listed are absolute necessities. But Boar the Spear obviously goes in tandem with this. They're kind of the 2-card combo. The Wind Barrier Statue is kind of one of your win conditions, what Lyrilisc is all about. And I run a bunch of dark targets. Before I didn't do this, but now I realize the value of consistency. DD Crow is a decent card in this format and something you can switch out. And the 2 Kaijus, this one is the Radiant, the multi-dimensional Kaiju, but I used to not be able to run a lure at 3, but now I have to because it just ends up working out in your favor a lot more. And yeah, so that's where all of this kind of comes in. Otherwise, you're probably going to open a lot of pieces that you can use to get your combo started, and this just kind of helps round it all out. I run 3 Lightning Storm. I think this is a necessity, but again, I won't be able to afford this for the time being as long as this card is ultra super expensive. Hopefully you can get a print where it's about 10 bucks. I will easily spend $30 on a playset of this, as I think most people will. The Harpy's Feather Duster, this is kind of a spell and trap heavy format, although I think it's getting away from that a little bit. And this is the rank up kind of package that I run. 1 Soul Shave and 2 rank up Magic Force. I know there's a lot of them out there, but Soul Shave is great for just anything in the graveyard. It helps you get to infinity sometimes. And this is just flexible, right? Sometimes you need to go into Ultimate Falcon, sometimes Satellite. And also this card can be set off of Rusty Bardige by sending a Raider's Wing to the graveyard, which I think is very nice. The 1 Raider's Nest and the 1 Raidraptor's Phantom Nightclaw. Now, you could add stuff like Boots, Phantom Knight's Boots, and then also add another of these kind of Phantom Knight's trap cards that are searchable for potential more disruption. I don't think it's all that super necessary, although I could see like where you could do it. So maybe you want to take out one of these DD Crows, put in a Boots, and maybe you want to take out 2 DD Crow, but then you're kind of messing with your consistency. So I kind of think it depends on your philosophy when it comes to deck building. Onto the extra deck is Ultimate Falcon, Satellite Cannon, Cyber Dragon Infinity, Revolution Falcon, the Dark Requiem XYZ Dragon, which is just like 4 monster negates or 3 monster negates. Destroys, not once per chain, very wild. Now, this is certainly one of the biggest flex spots. This is Arc Rebellion XYZ Dragon. It's Disruption, because when it's XYZ summoned, it negates all other monsters on the field. It's kind of a way to get over this attack barrier, because the Zexal combo ended with you having enough attack on the board to end the game. Or you can make this a more defensive card. You can make this a Abyss Dweller. That probably would be a really good one to do. I see a lot of people ending on boards like that. So it's kind of up to you. That's just what I play, and I think is a pretty good card. And that goes along with Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, of course. Utopia, that's the play to protect your Wind Barrier statue. I run Tornado Dragon because when you have the Wind Barrier statue, it's a way to continue to special summon. If you need a push for game and you need a way, because after you summon your Apex, your Mist Valley Apex Avian, like you can't do anything else. You can't special summon. You can't kind of try to get more damage on the field. But that's only if your opponent's wide open. If not, you're going to continue to use this board. But still, this is a way to get out of it. And also, it's pretty good, right? Spell and trap removal is always a good thing. The 2/4 Strix, this is a must. You actually have to do this. Symbolic Bird of Sovereignty. It's just a great card. Helps special summon all of your disruption from the deck. The 1 Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardige. I don't think this needs to be played in more than one. And I run 2 Wise Strix, so you could risk it all and only run 1, but going into that second one, again, when you're trying to make that push, you want to have access to these rank up cards. It's very, very important. So I think it's worth taking up 2 spots in the extra deck. It's a little tight, and I'm sure some of you guys will have a little bit of variation in there, but that's how I run it. On to the side. Nibiru, everybody is main decking right now, so I mean, you could take out the Lightning Storms, I suppose, or like Harpy's Feather Duster. And then, you know, going into other games, if you feel like consistency is not as important, of course, this is where, if you're not DD Crow's not doing anything, this is where you put Nibiru. Same thing for Artifact, Lancey, Angel, and Lockbird. It's just unfortunate that none of those are dark targets for the Allure. But I do run those 6-hand traps as well. The Raigeki, you just never know if you're playing kind of the bird up strategy. This is like the killer for it. Along with the 2 Dark Holds, the same exact thing going second. And I also run 3 Cosmic Cyclone because, yeah. And it's good to run Lightning Storm in the main deck as well, so you might have 6 outs on top of the Harpy's Feather Duster for the Spell and Trap heavy decks, which is all fine and dandy. So that is the deck profile for Raidraptors. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful night.